Suspicions have been raised regarding the precise nature of a recent unusual seismic event in Forestia. Forestia insists the event was an earthquake and has
strongly denied any inappropriate activity in the region, but refused access to the area around the epicenter.
Tensions between Forestia and neighbouring states have been high for several years,
leading to Equilibria requesting an on-site inspection
under the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which has now been approved by the CTBTO's Executive Council. "40 inspectors from the International Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, the CTBTO, have been meticulously searching 1,000 square kilometers in the state of Forestia for the last 21 days. They are here to investigate suspicious seismic activity which was detected by the organization's international monitoring system nearly a month earlier.
They didn't find any evidence of violation because there is no violation of the treaty. So we try to keep the right balance between our national interest and our obligation. Of course, our obligation are prevailing here in this case.
The pressure is on for the scientists to identify and resolve the issues quickly. The inspection team have already set up their base of operations. They have a web of communications connecting the base with inspectors in the field, and also a secure and reliable link back to the Operations Support Center at the CTBTO's headquarters in Vienna. The initial phase included many observations. In particular, seismic aftershocks were detected and geolocated to points within the inspection area that had not yet been investigated. One reason why the CTBTO's Executive Council did not halt the continuation of the inspection. The seismic sub-team deployed sensors at a number of locations. These very sensitive devices can detect vibrations caused by aftershocks from earthquakes or many other events, such as a nuclear explosion. One particular area seems to be of special interest. A thermal image shows several geometrically shaped hotspots in this area. The problem is that they lie in a restricted access site, named as RAS-1, and the inspection team are only allowed to observe them from the road. The team hope that an additional overflight will reveal more information, and this time the team will be allowed to make use of more intrusive techniques.
The source of the radiation what we are interested in is gamma radiation. It's like ordinary photons but a much higher energy.
Whilst one field team prepare for the overflight, another field team visit an area on the ground to make in situ radionuclide measurements.
So we'll just walk along the path slowly and check if the radiation level is changing.
Once an appropriate area is found, the team collects soil samples. The treaty ensures that the inspected state party has equal access to all samples and data from all measurements.
Somebody from an inspected state party accompanies every field team on their missions to control what they're doing and that they're acting according to their mandate.
Back at the helicopter pad, the inspectors have installed all the equipment on board and are ready to take off.
The helicopter is actually flying a grid. It's a kind of a crisscross lines which has been planned on a table and now implemented in what we call a flight plan.
Whilst the helicopter weaves back and forth, the radionuclide field team undertake their final in situ measurements.
This equipment is a germanium crystal, which is cooled by an electrical cooling system, and it will measure the natural radioactivity together with any trace of fission products that just deposited on the surface.
With the flight completed, the inspectors and the inspected state party representative have differing opinions on what was observed.
I believe we didn't find anything because there was anything on the ground.
We'll wait and see. We'll look at those data back at the base of operations.
At the end of a long day for everyone, all the field teams return back to base in time for their daily 6 p.m. meeting, after going through the contamination check. Visual observations take the data from the overflight to log it before it gets copied. Unfortunately, the ISP have some confidentiality concerns and have asked for the data to be secured until it has been fully reviewed. At the meeting, all eyes are on the head of the radionuclide measurement team.
All the samples are on counters being counted. We have seen the first look at the first samples that were counted for the first missions. This has not been through analysis software, just by eye looking. Yes, there's cesium, we expected that. By eye, we don't see fission products. So the other fission products that are interesting to us. So
the meeting ends with an announcement that a storm is approaching. And the following morning they load their equipment onto their vehicles and head out for what looks to be a very wet day. Meanwhile, at the base of operations, Visual Obs has finally got access to the data from the overflight the day before. And it shows some very interesting results from RAS-1.
On a field mission, they identified a site at this particular location, which looks very different to the imagery we have from 2012.
The inspection essentially narrows down the search area into areas of interest through the inspection process, thus ensuring the inspectors focus on the most relevant areas.
What we try to do is to narrow down the zones to inspect. One of them is underground bunker. One CPT mission was sent to that point to make electromagnetic and magnetic measurements.
What we can see from the data at the moment is there doesn't appear to be any evidence that these particular structures extend for any significant distance under the ground, not the entrance to something larger which would be of interest to us.
At the meeting that evening, the inspection is now clearly generating significant results.
The area of the highest importance is definitely RAS-1.
We believe that this feature is a new feature, or a feature which has been constructed since the imagery was acquired last September.
We've got this area of hardcore in this sort of square picture, and we've got a feature in the corner here which is a concrete tube.
RAS-1 is now top priority, and another meeting between the ISP and the IT is called to discuss even greater access. As a result of the negotiations, the inspection team are finally allowed to conduct a search of the previously restricted area under managed access provisions. This includes measurements with magnetometers and conductivity meters.
We've got two magnetometer sensors, so we've got a gradiometer here. And what we're going to do is acquire a ground magnetic survey. We're looking for metallic objects.
Here we have the EM31 of Geonics. It's a conductivity meter, and with it we measure the ground conductivity, probably the first 5-6 meters depth.
Additionally, some heavy machinery is brought in to extract subsurface gas samples in order to detect argon-37 or radioxenon. Detection of significant quantities of these particular noble gases would constitute strong evidence of underground nuclear activity. The team continued to work for this day and for several more. Thousands of human work hours have been spent. Terabytes of data has been created. But what has been the result? Did Forestia detonate a nuclear explosion?
We, as inspection team members, do not make a political judgment whether Forestia was in compliance or violated the treaty provisions. Our sole mandate is to gather facts on the ground, to conduct an on-site inspection and gather technical facts which help to come up with a political judgment on this issue.
Whatever happens next, the exercise has been a success by demonstrating the substantial progress in the technical and operational capabilities of the team. It also marks progress towards IFE 14, an exercise in Jordan in 2014 to test an on-site inspection in an integrated manner. In this way, the CTBTO is building up the OSI regime for the entry into force of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty.
The whole verification mechanism as it envisaged by the treaty or provided for by the treaty, including international monitoring system, international data center, and on-site inspection component of the verification mechanism, they are all a deterrent for a possible violator.
And on-site inspections are the final and most intrusive verification element of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty.